Also, in a major development, Central Bank of Bangladesh is printing new currency notes without the image of former Bangladesh President Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Currently, currency notes of all denominations have had an image of Sheikh Rahman. According to Bangladesh Bank, the banknotes of Taka 20, 100, 500 and 1000 are being printed with religious structures, Bengali traditions and graffiti drawn during the July Uprising. The new notes are expected to be released in the market within the next 6 months. The officials concerned of the Central Bank and the Ministry of Finance said the image of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman will be removed from the current notes. The release added that the design of the 4 notes is being changed first and the design of all types of banknotes will be redesigned in phases. Let me now take you across to DD India's Naval Singh Parmar joining us from Dhaka. What more can you tell us about this change? Was it something that was expected? Because it's been also about, apart from changing regimes, what had happened since July in Bangladesh has been also a bit about rewriting history.
Post 5th August, there are many people and are in demand to erase the memories of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. He is considered as a father of nation, but then after the interim government cancelled some of the public holidays linked with the Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, but in case of currency they couldn't do immediately because it is they were taking time to stabilize their regime, but now they are in the mood to change the design of currency note, and particularly they want to erase the legacy of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. They are planning to replace currency notes with the image of July Uprising and the other cultural images and the Bengali nationalism. So in this way, the current regime under the Sheikh Mujibur, under the Professor Muhammad Yunus are in mood to erase the legacy of the Sheikh Mujibur Rahman.
What can we surmise from this about the priorities of the interim government, which is being led by a Nobel Peace Laureate Muhammad Yunus, where you have a country where the government has very little control over the law and order situation. The economy is also suffering in the wake of what has happened since July, and yet there are expenses to be made for changing banknotes.
Actually, in Bangladesh, there are many political groups here active in Bangladesh. They were against the Awami League government in Awami League political party and Sheikh Hasina. So all the groups and the political parties here in Bangladesh, their single agenda is to keep Awami League away from the national politics of Bangladesh. And every group and every sorts of political party have their own priorities and their own sets of agenda. So some are the highly radical, some are the moderate, some are the liberal, but they have their own agenda and they are part of this government. Indirectly or directly, they are involved with the Professor Yunus-led interim government. So each party or each group is having working as an individual pressure group. So they have own agenda and they are pursuing their agenda, and Professor Yunus is, in that case, he is helpless. He is not having a clear priorities in his, he may be having, but he is not in a position to implement the priorities his interim government is having, because he is dependent on the other pressure group and political parties who are supporting him from outside the government.
I believe we had an all-party meeting as well today, where again the Awami League and its allies were not invited, and these were for consultations on what to do about the law and order situation in the country. Did you hear anything as to what the government intends to do to ensure that minorities are, the rights are protected, their safety and security is ensured?
The outcome of the yesterday's all-party meeting, excluding Awami League and its allies, was to counter the whatever the things going on in Indian media. They think that Indian media is spreading misinformation in India and other part of the world. So their solo agenda now is to counter the world view or world perspective about the Bangladesh. So collectively they have decided that we will put forward our views or our thinking about the issues in Bangladesh, or how they are ruling the Bangladesh, how the law and order situation here in Bangladesh. So that was the collective voice. But the undercurrent is all the political parties or these people who are now in the interim government are backed by the students organization, and there are 19 students organization active, major 19 student organization which are who are active in Bangladesh, and there is a big rift between them.
Right.
Chhatra Dal is a Bangladesh Nationalist Party is a student wing, and the other students organization, which are considered as one of the major organizations, they are not having a good terms with the student against the discrimination who led this movement. So there is a big rift among the all the student organizations. So they want to cover this rift superficially. They want to show that everything is fine here in Bangladesh. But in student there is a big rift, and 1 week back there were a huge protest, huge clashes between the student organization, and in that protest around 15 to 20,000 students were fighting on the streets of Dhaka. And in that, it is publicly, it is not in public domain, but there are reports that many people lost their lives. More than 10 students lost their lives in last week. So these are the things happening in Bangladesh. Things is not in a perfect way or what they are claiming, but the issues which is in public domain, it is different, and the real issues are different.
Right, clearly a very strange and sad situation in Bangladesh, which also reflects certain skewed priorities as far as the interim government is concerned. Thanks a lot for joining us, Nawal Singh Parmar from Dhaka.